This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 13th day of January in the year 2026. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The 2026 law year opened this morning with a special sitting of the full bench of the Supreme Court, with the acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Justice Roxanne George, recommitting the local judiciary to a service of excellence in keeping with its strategic plan. A recent International Framework of Court Excellence Self-Assessment Survey conducted by the Supreme Court in mid-2025 revealed that while the judiciary is aligned with the principles of good governance and service excellence, there remains scope for greater improvement to build a system-wide consistency in court operations. The acting chancellor said while major emphasis has been placed on infrastructural development with the construction of courthouses across the country, the judiciary is simultaneously working to digitize its operations for greater efficiency.
The next phase of transformation requires implementation of a system whereby performance is measured, improvement is continuous, and public trust is deepened. In this regard, the judiciary is committed to ensuring accountability by pursuing evidence-based data management across all levels of the court system, aligning closely with the strategic plan, which articulates our vision to encourage and maintain public trust and confidence through an independent, effective, and accountable judicial system.
At the level of the magistracy, however, there remains a shortage of magistrates, the acting chancellor reported. She explained that the shortage is as a result of recent promotions. Currently, there are a total of 23 magistrates on the bench. 7 more are needed for a full complement. The acting chancellor assured, however, that it is the intention of the Judicial Service Commission to fill the vacancies before mid-year. She said while the magistracy is working to address the backlog in cases, it is confronted by a shortage of staff, critical to the management of cases.
In 2025, about 30,000 criminal cases and 700 civil cases were filed in the magistrates' courts throughout the country. As regards the backlog of trial matters in the magistrates' courts, this depends on the magisterial district. The main backlog is in conducting inquests and the preparation of records of appeal and committal proceedings, though paper committals have eased the workload of magistrates in that they no longer have to take down the evidence. However, the staffing of court offices for the efficient management of cases dealt with by magistrates is a major challenge.
Acting Chancellor George also said there are still many pending inquests, largely due to the fact that magistrates give priority to the high volume of trial matters. In that regard, the Chancellor announced that a comprehensive review of the magistracy will be conducted in order to determine the caseloads of magisterial districts, as well as the volume of case filings for particular types of crimes. This, she said, will allow for the better management of magistrates' courts. Acting Chief Justice Navendra Singh, in his address, underscored the importance of maintaining the rule of law, the foundation, he said, of a civilized society.
The rule of law is not maintained by rhetoric, but by conduct. It is upheld when investigations are lawful and professional, when charges are brought responsibly, when cases are prosecuted fairly and defended fearlessly, when trials are conducted efficiently and impartially, and when sentences and rulings are imposed with justice, proportionality, and most importantly, in a timely manner in accordance with the law.
Noting that the judiciary is cognizant of the need to improve on the timely delivery of judgments, the acting Chief Justice said while backlogs exist, there has been marked improvement. However, he noted that with the assistance of the bar, there could be even greater improvement.
Delay remains one of the most corrosive threats to public confidence. Thankfully, that is less present now, especially in the criminal courts. It continues to be present in the civil courts to some extent, but not in any epidemic way.
While acknowledging the challenges that remain, including increased caseloads, complex investigations, and limited resources, the acting Chief Justice said delays cannot be accepted as inevitable.
In this law year, I expect renewed emphasis on active case management at all levels, and you will see it. We promise you that. Criminal and civil cases must be prepared properly, scheduled realistically, and progressed purposefully. Adjournments must be granted only for good cause. Witness attendance must be managed formally. Where statutory timelines exist, they must be respected.
Guyana currently has a single court of appeal with 2 courtrooms, 3 high courts, 1 in each county, with 18 courtrooms, 5 land courtrooms, and 55 magistrates courts in the 11 magisterial districts. Additionally, 3 magistrate courts are currently under construction. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Bristow Promotions, in association with the Caribbean Boxing Organization, alongside Guyana Boxing Association, present Caribbean Boxing Showdown, January 24th, 2026, live at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, featuring Guyana's finest: Desmond Amsterdam, Terrence Adams, Delon Charles, Quincy Gold, Edmund DeClue, Joel Williamson, and Jamal Eastman, taking on top contenders from across the Caribbean. Tickets $2,500, ringside $5,000. January 24th. For more information, log on to CaribbeanBoxingOrganization.com.
Ready to position your brand at the heart of the region's most influential energy event? The Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo invites you to become a sponsor and connect directly with leaders shaping the future of energy and industry. Choose from 4 powerful tiers: Platinum, Diamond, Gold, and Silver. As a sponsor, your brand takes center stage, from live press conferences and magazine features to exclusive speaking opportunities and top-tier visibility across every major platform. Enjoy premium exhibition booths, media coverage, and access to hundreds of industry professionals and decision makers. Whether you want to lead discussions, host networking events, or elevate your brand presence, sponsorship puts your company at the forefront of opportunity and innovation.
Hi, miss. It's lovely to see you again. Here you go. Are you interested in purchasing the Christmas cookies? Sure.
Happy holiday, Mom.
Sometimes all it takes is a kind word, a gentle smile, a moment of care.
Did you have a medical trip today?
Oh, yes, I did.
At Massey Stores, the magic of Christmas isn't in the decorations. It's in the people who make you feel seen.
We finance everything with Courts Ready Finance, from educational expenses and those unplanned emergencies. Get it done with financing through Courts Ready Finance. All you need to apply is a valid ID, proof of income, proof of address, and 2 references. Get quick approval and flexible monthly installments, plus credit protection insurance. Apply in store or online at courts.com. Courts Ready Finance. Ready when you are. Conditions apply.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who became 18 years or older on December 31, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Sunday, January 18, 2026 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Attorney General Senior Counsel Anil Nandlal wants the courts to return to in-person hearing with greater regularity, stating that while virtual hearings have been helpful and have helped the judiciary, he does not believe it should substitute in-person hearings. Speaking during the opening of the 2026 law year this morning, the Attorney General said while virtual hearings can remain in place to deal with certain cases, he believes trials, submissions, and presentations of oral arguments should be done in person.
We should resort to that. COVID has gone 7 years now, and I believe the time is opportune to resort. I say that not because I want a mechanical return, but because those of us who had the opportunity, or rather the privilege, of practicing during the period where you had in-person hearings know of the value that we derived from seeing senior practitioners perform their craft in court.
Mr. Nandlal said the virtual hearings have had some negative impacts, especially on the morale of new lawyers.
And it is being reflected in the conduct of this new generation of lawyers. And you can't blame them because they have not seen anything better. They never saw the great senior counsel of the past, from whom we benefited. And that camaraderie that I believe is so necessary for the legal profession is affected negatively because of the non-person engagements.
The Attorney General also spoke of a new way of doing things in the legal profession, which among other things will be to hold legal officers accountable. He also called for there to be greater education and training, saying he does not believe some legal officers read the law.
You have the legislative framework of a most modern type. But I say this with the greatest of respect. I don't think that we are reading them. We are not reading the law. We have the pre-bargaining legislation, we have the paper committal legislation, we have restorative justice legislation, and I don't think that they are being used in the magistrate's court.
The government has been making big investments in the local judiciary with the establishment of more courts and the appointments of additional judges at both the High Court and Court of Appeal levels. On the police blotter tonight, police investigators were called to a gruesome scene at the KK Villa Guest House on Lime Street in West Georgetown this morning, following the discovery of the bodies of 36-year-old security guard Cyril Saul and the housekeeper, 31-year-old Lorraine. That was the only name given for her. A police statement explained that the two were former lovers who worked together at the same guest house. They both reported for duty on Monday for the evening shift. This morning, the woman's body was found with multiple injuries in a room at the guest house, while the man's body was found in a separate room. Investigators suspect that the woman was killed by the man who later took his own life. At the scene, crime scene investigators discovered a gun with ammunition along with a knife and a container with a suspected poisonous substance. Investigators were also able to obtain surveillance video recordings from the premises, and the footage is now being reviewed. The two reportedly ended their relationship 2 months ago, but continued working together at the same workplace. A number of persons in the area and others who worked at the same hotel have since been questioned by the investigators. Post-mortem examinations have been ordered for the two bodies. Investigations are ongoing tonight.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who became 18 years or older on December 31, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as a person you are objecting to. You must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. It is an offense to make false objections. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Thursday, January 22, 2026. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who became 18 years or older on December 31, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change or correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. All GCOM registration offices will open Mondays to Fridays from 8 to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 14 hours. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Let's tell you now that the president of the Guyana Bar Association, Kamal Ramkaran, has called for the urgent review of rules and laws guiding the work of the Guyana Court of Appeal. He said those rules, which have been in existence for over 50 years, are hurting the functioning of the Appellate Court. Speaking this morning at the opening of the law year, Mr. Ramkaran said while there has been infrastructural and administrative changes at the Court of Appeal, including the appointment of additional judges, the time that cases take to be called up remain unacceptable. He said while there have been improvements at the High Court in relation to clearing the backlog of cases, more work needs to be done in this regard at the Appeals Court.
The system becomes the way it does because we all accept it. The position is the same with applications for leave to appeal from the full court, as well as applications to leave to the Caribbean Court of Justice, although they tend not to take as long as the appeals to come on for hearing. But I have no doubt that the energetic new leadership in the Court of Appeal, together with the unprecedented number of new judges there, will quickly remove the backlog completely and bring us to the same position we are in the High Court.
Attorney Ramkaran said the Caribbean Court of Justice, which has been in existence for 20 years, has already had 6 sets of appellate jurisdiction rules, and there is nothing stopping Guyana's appeal court from doing the same.
We need not be wedded to laws and rules which no longer serve their purpose. We must be the master of our rules of procedure and not the other way around. Perhaps because of those old rules and law and other procedural default, appeals now take forever to come up for hearing.
However, he expressed optimism that things will change for the better with the new leadership of the Court of Appeal. He also hailed the digital push of the local courts, especially its move to virtual hearings and e-filing, which he noted have transformed the practice of law. He called for there to be fixed rules for virtual hearings to decide which cases are to be heard virtually and which should be heard in person.
We have come a far way, but there is still much we can do to operate at full capacity. Other countries in the Caribbean have websites where judgments are uploaded. We need to do the same. Our judgments are scattered all over, and many of them are not known by practitioners except by chance. We need to build and develop a database of our judgments which we can all rely on, and every judge should deliver a written judgment within a reasonable time of judgment delivery, no matter if it is simply a note of an extempore judgment. Judgments do not need to be works of scholarship worthy of publication in a law quarterly review. They simply need to show the basic reasoning for the judge's decision.
Further, Ramkaran also issued a call for transcripts to be made available for every single hearing, adding that it increases accountability within the local court system. A $123 million search and rescue information system is now in operation at the Tamari Control Tower Complex at the Chedijagan Airport, increasing the country's capacity to respond to emergencies and ultimately save lives. The information system was officially launched by the Ministry of Public Utilities and Aviation and the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority on Monday. The system was supplied and installed by a Canadian firm, Intelcan Techno Systems, in collaboration with the International Aeronautical and Maritime Search and Rescue. Minister of Public Utilities and Aviation Deodat Indar said the SAR information system replaces the manual system and will allow for real-time data to be provided during search and rescue operations. He said ultimately it will allow for resources to be deployed in a timely manner.
And this system, all it does, it makes that process faster, more reliable, and we can have a search and rescue plan implemented quicker than we have done in the past. And it's less laborious. As you yourself have seen, it's less laborious. So that is what you call development, folks. That is what you call development. You develop from one stage of processing to another.
The new system computerizes the management and coordination of search and rescue operations. The digital platform is also expected to enhance decision-making by providing real-time data integration of resources and operational guidance to agencies involved in search and rescue missions. The Director General of the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, retired Lieutenant Colonel Egbert Field, said the SAR information system will increase the country's capacity to conduct search and rescue operations, noting that in the past the country's capacity was limited. Further, he said maintaining an effective search and rescue system in the country is critical to meeting the International Civil Aviation Organization's standards, and as such, the SAR information system brings added value. Chief of Defense Staff of the Guyana Defense Force, Brigadier Omar Khan, said as an agency involved in search and rescue operations, the GDF welcomes the installation of the SAR information system.
Today, this is not just a commissioning of a new technology, but the activation of a system that directly supports national readiness, interagency coordination, and the operational effectiveness when lives are at risk. For the GDF, search and rescue is not a theoretical responsibility. It is an operational task, often executed under severe pressure, you heard it, austere environments, and most times with incomplete information and unforgiving timelines.
He said historically the Guyana Defense Force has relied on fragmented information and manual logs, which often resulted in delayed updates at critical times. The IMSAR software, he said, will undoubtedly change all of that. 16 personnel from the Civil Aviation Authority, the Chetty Jagan Airport, the Guyana Defense Force, and the Ogle Airport were trained to operate the SAR information system. The chairman of the Private Sector Commission, Captain Jerry Gavaya Jr., and trained search and rescue coordinator Parmadan Patraj were among officials present at the ceremony. The U.S. Ambassador to Guyana, Nicole Theriot, has stated that while Azruddin Mohammed's legal battle with the U.S. complicates things, what is more important is the election of an opposition leader in the Parliament of Guyana. Azruddin Mohammed is a presumptive leader of the opposition. His party, the We Invest in Nations Party, won 16 seats in the National Assembly, becoming the main opposition in the House. However, Azruddin Mohammed, along with his father and their businesses, were sanctioned by the U.S. in June 2024. He is now facing extradition, having been indicted in a U.S. court. He is currently fighting that extradition request. Both Azruddin and Nazar Mohammed are wanted in the U.S. to answer to a number of charges related to mail and wire fraud, money laundering, and customs-related violations. Approaching the issue, the U.S. ambassador told reporters that regardless of the legal challenges facing Azruddin Mohammed, the will of the people must be respected, and the country at the level of parliament must move ahead with the election of the opposition leader.
It complicates matters. It's not the easiest thing in the world to deal with, but what's most important is that your democracy functions, and I think in order for Parliament to do that and to represent the will of the people who elected this person, or who chose this person to have a significant number of seats, or chose his party, that they need to move forward with the election.
She said Mohammed's election to Parliament does not impact the U.S., at least legally.
It doesn't impact us in terms of legally, but if he is involved in certain aspects of government that we have to deal with, if it involves anything financial or contractual, then that might be a slight problem for us, but we just have to ask that someone else work on that issue. So for us, we can work around it. It complicates matters, but we can work around it.
Ambassador Theriot said it was incredibly important for there to be a functioning parliament in any democracy, and for that to happen there needs to be an opposition leader. The United Kingdom, Canada and the European Union have also issued a call for the election to be held for the leader of the opposition. The parliament was convened in early November, and although all members were present, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, opted not to call a meeting of all opposition members to allow for the election of an opposition leader. To date, he has offered no reason for his refusal to call a meeting for the election of the opposition leader.
Bristow Promotions, in association with the Caribbean Boxing Organization, alongside Guyana Boxing Association, present Caribbean Boxing Showdown, January 24th, 2026, live at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, featuring Guyana's finest: Desmond Amsterdam, Terrence Adam, Delon Charles, Quincy Gold, Edmund DeClue, Joel Williamson, and Jamal Eastman, taking on top contenders from across the Caribbean. Tickets $2,500, ringside $5,000. January 24th. For more information, log on to CaribbeanBoxingOrganization.com.
First-time homeowner, ready to build a dream house but worried about getting your plans approved? The Single Window Planning Approval System makes it easy. One application, one online platform, faster, simpler house plan approval. Visit our website to kickstart the process at singlewindow.chpa.gov.gy. No running around, no confusion, just clear steps and efficient service, all in one place. Apply, track, and get approved with confidence. The Single Window System, helping first-time homeowners move from planning to building the smart way. Single Window Planning Approval System, designed for transparency, built for convenience.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. Anyone who became 18 years or older on December 31, 2025, and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not on the PLE, apply for a transfer if you've changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the required original source documents: birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, birth certificate and marriage certificate for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, or naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Sunday, January 18, 2026. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027-8-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Fruitopia, it's the drink that's hype. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We no want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Quench any thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia. It's the drink that's hype. It's the just punch. Fruit punch tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. Cubans are bracing for impact after U.S. President Donald Trump vowed to cut off a lifeline of Venezuelan oil from reaching Cuba, setting a siege scenario for an island already reeling from crippling blackouts and shortages. Venezuela, once the island's top supplier, has not sent crude or fuel to Cuba for about a month, according to shipping data and internal documents from state company PDVSA, with cargoes falling off due to a U.S. blockade even before the U.S. capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro in early January. The last cargo for refining on the island was sent from PDVSA's Jose port in mid-December on board a tanker that sailed with its transponder off, carrying some 600,000 barrels of Venezuelan crude. In 2025, Venezuela was Cuba's largest oil supplier, with 26,500 barrels per day, or roughly one-third of the island's daily needs, followed by Mexico with some 5,000 barrels per day, the data and documents showed. A blue wave swept across Tobago Monday, with the Tobago People's Party, TPP, taking complete control of the sister isle. The People's National Movement, PNM, was decimated in the Tobago House of Assembly, THA, election, losing its lone seat in Darrell Spring Wim, as the TPP emerged victorious in all 15 electoral districts. It was a historic, stunning victory for the party, formed in August 2023 and led by political leader Farley Augustine. In the 2021 THA election, Watson Duke's Progressive Democratic Patriots, PDP, soundly beat the PNM, breaking its 21-year control of the THA with a resounding 14-1 victory. Following a fallout with Duke, Augustine had formed the TPP, and after 4 years of his leadership, the people of Tobago have shown that they repose full confidence in him and his team. At the April 2025 general election, the TPP won both the Tobago East and Tobago West parliamentary seats. And finally tonight, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump urged Iranians on Tuesday to keep protesting and said help was on the way, without giving details, as Iran's clerical establishment pressed its crackdown against the biggest demonstrations in years. Iranian patriots keep protesting, take over your institutions, help is on its way, Trump said in a post on Truth Social, adding that he had cancelled all meetings with the Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stopped. The unrest sparked by dire economic conditions has posed the biggest internal challenge to Iran's rulers for at least 3 years and has come at a time of intensifying international pressure after Israeli and U.S. strikes last year. Following the U.S. president's post, Iran's security chief said that Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu were the main killers of the Iranian people. An Iranian official said about 2,000 people had been killed in the protests. The first time authorities have given an overall death toll from more than 2 weeks of nationwide unrest, though the official gave no breakdown. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.